Hello and happy Wednesday. It's the most wonderful time of the year. It's autumn and it feels like it. I have adapted, I should say, and adopted, but I've adapted the saying, dress for the job you want, not for the job you have, to dress for the season you want, not for the season it currently is. Because as the summer was winding down, I started to break out my fall sweaters and I thought, I'm just going for it because I needed it to be autumn. It's my favorite season, weather wise, months. There's a lot of very special family birthdays, wedding anniversary, Halloween, Thanksgiving, which is my favorite holiday. I think I've mentioned that. But I love fall. And so over the weekend, it was cool, but not really cold. And my husband and I went out basically dressed like an ad for, apple picking or something. Like we were dressed for the cooler weather, and I was not apologizing for it. And at one point, my husband said, "Do we look like we're overdressed?" And I said, "I don't care. I don't care. I love autumn." Anyway, what's happening this week? I almost didn't film today. It's late in the day for me to be filming. But I figured, you know what, just go for it. I am so fatigued this week, especially like yesterday and today. I didn't go out, and then I thought, I'm not going to sit in the apartment all day. So I had to go to the post office, so I did that. And then I went to the grocery store, I did that. And then I just walked because I thought, I can't sit in the apartment all day. I do not want to fall into the habits that kept me inside through the pandemic during the worst of it in the early months, because I just kind of keep in the back of my mind that, we don't know what caused the stroke, obviously. But, my husband really pointed out that my mobility was a factor or lack thereof. And so I can't just sit throughout the day. And I do get up and walk around. I go and I do stuff around the apartment, but I don't move like I would be moving in the street when I walk around. So that motivates me to get out of the house. But I also have a headache today, and I had a little extra caffeine and whatnot, and I took some Tylenol and stuff, but I'm still waiting for that to work. But anyway, so today when I went out, it was only in the high 60s. I still had a sweater on and I had a light scarf on, and I thought, you know what? I am not apologizing for my love of this season and my demand from the universe that it gets a little bit cooler so that I can keep wearing warmer clothes, because I love wearing a sweater. But I love the cool air. And it's my favorite season. Can I say that more? It's my favorite season. But what else is happening? I think tentatively that the shot may have kicked in finally for my back. It seems to be working so far. I mean, my back still hurts and stuff, but that area where the inflammation is seems to be calmed down a little bit. So that's a miracle from the universe. I will take it. What else? Oh, before I forget, because I will forget until I'm not filming, and then I'm going to be like, oh, I didn't say anything. I want to say thank you to everybody that reached out to me after last week's blog. Your words were so kind. It meant so much to me. When I questioned the condition of the blogs I've been writing, so many of you reached out and said such lovely things, and I appreciate that. That means a lot. I mean, there were actually moments when I contemplated, is it worth writing anymore? And then I thought, what am I, out of my mind? Of course it's worth writing, even if it's not my best writing. Because I think, especially for somebody like me that has memory issues, and there's always so much medically going on, to write it down, and not just have somebody else write it, but to have a firsthand account of what's happening in my body, I think that's really important. And I think, when you're going through, whether it's physical, medical, whatever, I do think it's important to keep a log of things, to write things down, and to just to have that to look back on, is so valuable. And that's helped me tremendously, because I look back at blogs all the time. If I know something happened at a certain month, I will try to look back at the blogs and see, did I mention it? When did I mention it? What did I mention at all? Because, you know, it's just very valuable to have that to look back on. I'm a little scattered right now. What else? I think my hair is getting a little out of control at this point. It's getting a little longer than I feel like I can manage, but I'm not ready to cut it yet. I don't know. I feel like all of a sudden it just got very, when I came home today, I was like, I gotta wash it out because it was a little, you know, but we'll see. We'll see. I don't know. There's nothing really exciting going on. Oh, that bruise on my leg that I mentioned last week, it still looks like the Eye of Sauron. And if you're a Lord of the Rings fanatic like I am, you will know what I'm talking about. But if you have not seen Lord of the Rings, oh my gosh, please, what are you doing? If you haven't read it, okay. But if you haven't seen the movies, what are you doing? I don't understand it. But the Great Eye, that's like the ultimate evil. And so the bruise looks like that. And I almost posted a picture of it, and then I thought, that's so gross. Like, who wants to see a picture of a bruise? But it's, you know, for Lord of the Rings fans, it looks like the Great Eye. So, you know, I'll let you use your imagination. I'm such a weirdo. But I was with my mom the other day, and I was telling her how we were in the local bookstore, and obviously that's like, if you want to view paradise, simply look around and view it. I mean, as evidenced by, this is just 2 bookcases in our apartment. We have 2 more in this room. And we have other books. I mean, we're book people, but I mean, and I have books, obviously, you know, that I keep here because it's like, please read. And I also have books under my side table. It's embarrassing to admit. But I have so many books that I want to read, and I was telling my mom that I feel like I don't have the bandwidth to do it, and it's such a disappointment because I finally have copies of books that people have given me, you know, as gifts and stuff, and I can't even read them. And, you know, she was encouraging me, like, it'll come back, you'll get that back. And then I thought, what if I read out loud for like 10 minutes a day? I remember doing that with hard texts, with our gal when she was growing up, and, you know, to help, and then stop when you have a question about a word or a question about a phrase, you know, and I'll still do that. If there's a word I'm not sure what it means, I'll look it up. But maybe if I read out loud for 10 minutes a day, it'll be good for me just mentally and, you know, whatever. So I might try that. I keep thinking about it, and then I don't do anything with it. But I think I'm going to try that. Maybe starting tomorrow. We'll see. Last thing I want to say is this, because I'm not going to bedraggle. I'm not going to drag on. I'm not going to bedraggle it either. There are people in my life that are going through some extremely hard things. And I just want to say, I know and I see this, and you are in my thoughts, and every single one of us, if we're not going through it ourselves, we know people that are going through the hardest things in the world, whether it's the death of a loved one or something at work, school, whatever. Just know this. You're not alone. You are in our thoughts. And I am so grateful for everybody that sits down and watches these videos or reads the blogs and messages me with, you know, what's going on in their lives, or, you know, words of encouragement for what's going on in mine. And I want you to know that that means something to me. And I constantly think of all of you as a group, because I don't know all of you individually. And I send out good into the universe for all of you, because you show up for me every week, twice a week, some of you, you know what I mean? And so it's, even showing up once a week means something to me. So if you know somebody that's going through something, just keep them in your thoughts. If you can't, or you're not comfortable reaching out to them directly, keep them in your thoughts. Keep a good thought for them, because we're all going through something, right? And just knowing that people are sending good out for us, I believe, helps. And you know who you are, and I'm sending a lot of love out to you all. And I hope wherever you are that you and your loved ones are safe and well. And I hope that you have a low pain, no pain, low aggravation, no aggravation kind of a day, kind of a week, and kind of a weekend to come, because that is what we hope for. That is what we deserve. And that is what I wish for each and every one of you. Take care, be well, have a good night. I will see you on Friday via the blog, next week for another video and blog. Have a good night. Bye.